everyone, it's National International Fertility Week. So I thought I'll start with a video on some self-help tools just to help us in this crazy uncertain times. As we know, a lot of us are self-isolating, and those of us who are working, there's a lot of fear around. So I just thought I'll come on every day this week and just share some tools. So this one is a very gentle one, and being a reflexologist, it's one that we always share with our clients and anybody that wants to be introduced to reflexology. So it's just the solar plexus breathing, and if I show you, okay, so in the middle of your hand, just there is a solar plexus. So you can just gently breathe in and press, and then release and breathe out. And do this for the count of 5. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always do it in both hands. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And carry on doing this regularly, and you'll feel that you're giving yourself some time to be able to sit down and reflect on what's been happening. So whether you're trying for a child or you're just feeling stressed, you're going through a lot, there's a lot of people at home, or you're just having that extreme fear about what is going to happen, this is a very nice technique to be able to ground yourself. And when you're doing the solar plexus breathing, just acknowledge the present moment. So whether you're sitting down or you're standing, you can do it at any time. So just feel your feet rooted on the ground, connected to Mother Earth. So feel nice and relaxed. And one more thing I thought I'll talk about as well is the rescue remedy. I'm just going to grab it. It's just here. So I'm a Batch Foundation registered practitioners, and this is the rescue remedy that you may have all seen. And I thought I'll just explain this because you can, I'm still doing online consultations. You can buy this on Amazon, on the internet, in Boots. It's readily available, and the rescue remedy is fantastic. Hi Bhagwati, lovely to see you watching. So the rescue remedy is made out of 5 different flowers, and you can use this in this dropper bottle or in a spray. And the 5 remedies, the 5 flower essences are rock rose, which is for terror, and when we kind of feel we're really anxious and we're in that state of complete terror. So rock rose helps to calm everything down. Impatient is for impatience, when you want to rush things. So it's a very nice remedy to help you take things easily. Cherry plum is one which when you feel that everything is getting out of hand, you are not in control of anything, and you need that composure back, you need that sense of balance. Clematis is when you're daydreaming and you're out of the body. So sometimes when we go through shock, we just need to get dissociated. So clematis helps to be able to come back. And then Star of Bethlehem, which is for trauma, shock. And in a way, we are all going through that. Every day is different. We do not know what's going to happen next. So the rescue remedy is a really, really good way to balance all those emotions. When you do fall pregnant, a lot of midwives as well recommend this to be able to help you just to relax in your body. But anybody can take it right from the time of conception. So a mother who's pregnant or who's about to conceive can take it, and it affects the child in a positive manner right throughout your life, up to the end of life. So in this time, it's really good to share these tips. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's rather short today. I'll be coming on again tomorrow at 5 o'clock, just to share some self-help tools on our journey, on our fertility journey, on our well-being journey, on our journey living in this life. So yeah, share it please, and if you've got any questions, please pop them on the comment box, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care. Hi, so here I am, day 2 of National Infertility Weeks, sharing some wonderful tips. Now, even though you're not planning for a baby, you're just experiencing overwhelm, this is a very nice tip to be able to take with you to help you on your journey of well-being. So just before I share this lovely exercise, which is known as the womb and heart connection, it's nice to be able to understand what relationship we have with our own selves. You know, are we really in tune with what's happening inside our bodies? Whether we're menstruating or not, are we aware of the cyclical changes that we go through? It's nice to be able to tune in once in a while, just to check in with what's happening in our own selves, because usually how we project ourselves in our everyday life is a reflection of how we feel within. So the more peaceful we are inside of ourselves, the better it is for our physical well-being as well. And with the coronavirus and with this fear that everybody is trying to instill in us, it's really important to take some time to connect with our inner self, with our inner wisdom, to guide us on our path. And this practice, which I am going to share with you just now, is extremely simple. And I'm going to show a few variations because everyone adapts to it. So if you Google womb and heart connection, you'll find a lot of things. If you want to as well, I can post a visualization which I've done as well, which is on YouTube. But for now, let's just start with some heart breathing. So just place your hands on your heart and try and breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 7. So breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just carry on breathing. I'm just going to talk about the importance of increasing your exhalation. So this is all about activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which basically induces your body to a state of relaxation. We're constantly in the fight and flight and freeze, perhaps faint mode, because it's crazy out there. So that's the reason why. Let us try and create some sanity, some peace within ourselves, so that we can reflect positivity. And this heart breathing, especially if we are trying to extent, our exhalation will be a great source of support, of relief, of comfort. So from the heart, just take your hand and place it in your lower abdomen, in your womb area. Hope you can see this. And you can close your eyes and just tune in to yourself. Just breathing in and out. Just tuning in and imagine that there is an invisible link between your heart and your womb. And you may want to imagine infinity, the symbol of infinity, going around your heart and around the womb. It's a wonderful connection there. Just tuning in and feeling yourself going deeper and deeper in that state of relaxation. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to experience this connection. And you can do this at any time. It doesn't matter where you are in your menstrual cycle. It doesn't even matter if you're menstruating or not. And it is a tremendous source of support if you are planning for a baby. Hi Suzanne, lovely to see you watch. I'm sure you do this much better than I do in your lovely yoga classes. So yeah, this heart and womb connection is a tremendous source of support when you're trying for a baby, because it's the womb that will hold your lovely embryo for 9 months. So yes, there's a lot of uncertainty what is going to happen in terms of the fertility clinics if you are trying for assisted conception, or even if you're trying naturally. There's a lot of uncertainty. So it's amazing that we have this source of wisdom which is closer to us than we can ever imagine. It's within us. So this heart and womb connection is a lovely way to nurture your womb and create this lovely invisible link between your heart and your womb, and imagining it to be in the shape of the infinity sign, just like an 8. Just a beautiful wavy infinity sign around your heart, join in the middle between the heart and the womb, and then surrounding your womb as well. So yes, please try and do this as often as you can. It's a lovely source of comfort, inner wisdom, lovely way to be able to tune in. And I'll be back tomorrow with at around 5 o'clock again with a restorative, enlightening new moon visualization, because it's new moon on Thursday, and tomorrow, Wednesday night, it's a good time to be able to gather all your thoughts and express all your intentions. So if there is such a thing as homework, try and determine what is it that you want to achieve, what are your intentions, where do you want to place your attention. So thank you for watching, those who watched online, live, and I hope you enjoy this. Take care, stay safe, and most importantly, fly in the wings of your creativity. Just allow yourself to spread those wings and go wherever you're meant to go. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone, I hope you can see me and you are able to listen to this wonderful time that we have set aside for new moon visualization. So this is part of a series that I am doing at this moment in time, which ideally is to promote National Infertility Week. However, as I have been explaining in the videos I've done the last 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, and today's Wednesday, you can do this wherever you are in your well-being journey, whatever you're experiencing. So new moon is in reality when there is complete darkness in the sky. So it's the opposite of full moon, which is when you actually see the entire moon in its complete form. So new moon tonight, you will not be able to see anything as such because of how the moon is in position between Earth and the sun. It's right in the middle, but the sun is behind the moon. But in a sense, new moon is about setting intentions. Because if you metaphorically understand the sun to represent the conscious mind and new moon to represent the subconscious mind, when new moon occurs, the sun is right behind the moon, which does not allow us on Earth to be able to see it, so there's complete darkness. But the pull of the moon and the sun is in the same direction. And because it's in the same direction, metaphorically, the subconscious and the conscious mind are aligned. So often when we are desiring for certain things, we may not know what we're asking for. It's a little bit difficult to be able to know what we should ask for. So it's always nice to set some time aside at this time of the month to be able to express what we really want. And you need to be a little bit careful as well, because sometimes what we're asking for may not be what we really need. So it's creating a balance between what we need and what we want. That's why it's nice to do a little bit of, set some time aside and just engage in a little ritualistic practice. And it doesn't have to be very rigid as such, but you can just light a candle. I've got my candle here, so just light a candle and create a space where you can spend some time by yourself to be able to express what you need. So the time that we can do this is in the UK, it's usually tonight. Astrologically, you can check when new moon is every month, but for the UK, it is in the middle of the night. I think it's about 3 a.m. So, however, you've got like a time window, a few hours before and a few hours after. And it's simply because of where the moon is in reference to the Earth and the sun. But anyway, let's go to this lovely exercise that we can do. So just set some time aside to be able to tune in to what you really need. And you may want to invite yourself to take this opportunity to deeply reflect on where you are in your life, where you have been, and where you want to be. So just keep thinking of these different questions I've asked. And
You may want to just light a candle, keep some crystals near you. It's spring. The days are much lighter. There's a lot that we can be grateful for. So tune into a little bit of gratitude as well. So flood your entire being with gratitude. And when you have tuned in and you have experienced this stillness within yourself, you can just make yourself comfortable. You may want to write your intentions down or just imagine them written down in your mind's eyes. I always feel it's good to write things down, and then if you are doing this regularly, then you can always see what you've done last month and what you've achieved and what your intentions are for next month. So when you feel grounded, connected with where you're sitting, try to allow yourself to connect to the present moment, to where you are at. And in this state of being present, try your best to bring your attention to where you are with no judgment, just focusing on the now. So one of the ways you can do this is just by taking deep breaths. So you're breathing in and out. Breathing in through the heart and breathing out. Nice deep breaths. Feeling centered, feeling grounded. When you feel connected to the present moment, just try to tune in to what you need. What are your intentions? What would you like to see happening? So use your innate intelligence to guide you, to write down what you may need. And you may want to just say it out loud, because often what happens is we just think about what we need, but we don't bring it to our conscious mind. So try your best to bring into words what you need. And by writing this, you are creating the intention to allow it to actually occur. And in this state of relaxation, in this state of complete stillness, ask for the guidance so that your life is aligned to those intentions that you are manifesting today. So, as we were talking about before, use your power of discernment to understand what is it that you need so that your intentions are aligned with your subconscious mind, which are your beliefs, and your conscious mind. And this will help you tune in to this state of being present, of being in the moment. And always, when you are engaging in this practice or in a reflective and contemplative practice, allow yourself to be flooded with gratitude. So here you are. This is a wonderful little practice that you can engage in. It's a practice of expressing your intentions on new moon, and feel free to listen into this again later on tonight, or whenever you feel you have these 10 to 15 minutes set aside to express your intentions. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you allow the power of your innate discernment to help you, to guide you in manifesting those intentions that reflect your needs in alignment with your life purpose. Thank you. Hi, Mary Jane.
Hi, Artie. It's lovely to see you.
Likewise, thank you so much for agreeing to come here today.
That's my pleasure. Always good to help out if I can.
Definitely. You're a source of inspiration and ideas.
Well, it's always nice to have a chat, if nothing else, isn't it?
I think we learn the most when we're having a chat, because it's more it's more relevant, isn't it? And it goes with the flow.
That's absolutely true, actually. Yeah, sometimes, the interview format can be a bit stilted and a bit stiff. So you're right. I think that's true. Yeah, just let's have a chat and record and see what happens. Yeah.
Exactly. So the theme of today's chat or talk is more about because I'm trying to release this video during National Infertility Week.
Yeah.
So it's not only for fertility, but anybody on a well-being journey would benefit from it. So it's nice to be able. So anybody can listen to it anytime. But what are your thoughts? Let's share a few of our ideas on how emotions and thoughts affect our well-being. And you can start off with introducing yourself and how you've helped others.
Okay. So my name's Mary Jane. I have a multitude of skills, I suppose. So I'm trained in emotional freedom technique, and I'm also a trainer of emotional freedom technique. And my passion, really, I love emotional freedom technique. I also am a homeopath, and I've studied nutrition and kinesiology and yoga and all sorts of other things. But emotional freedom technique, or EFT, is probably my passion, because it's so simple, so effective. In fact, so effectively simple that people think that can't possibly work, but you and I know it does. But my passion is to get it out into the world in common usage, to see everybody tapping on their hands, their face, their head, whenever they feel anything that is uncomfortable for them, any unwanted emotion. So that's kind of my life mission, if you like, which sounds quite grandiose. But I think the reason that I love it, perhaps, is because it brings together so many things that I've seen in my own life, and so many things I've seen with clients that I've worked with. So I've worked with thousands of people since 2006, when I set up my business, and I would often work with people who would be on the surface leading a really healthy life. They would be eating the right food and taking the supplements and doing the exercise and the breathing and the yoga and the meditation and so on. But they were still not in great health, either mentally, emotionally, physically. And they would come to me looking for some solution. And of course, I realized, I already had realized, but I would begin to explain to them that actually how we think, what we believe, those patterns of behavior that we reenact every day of our lives in the way we deal with our siblings, our parents, our partner, our friends, our colleagues, are all part of our childhood conditioning. And it's only really when you start unraveling that, looking at the patterns, unraveling those in a beautifully gentle way, which is another thing I love about EFT, because it's so gentle, that you actually achieve what I would call health or wellness. So for me, if you were to make a pie chart of everything that contributes towards health, I would put, nutrition, exercise, fresh air, good water, laughing, all of those things, they would take up a good proportion of the pie chart, but less than half in total. And I would say at least half of our well-being is about how we think, how we behave. It's all those underlying patterns of behavior, unraveling those and finding peace or acceptance with them. We don't have to like everything about ourselves, but if we can accept everything about ourselves, wow, we've gone a long way down that road. And that's my view. So for me, actually dealing with that past, those patterns, those events. And sometimes people say to me, but I haven't had big trauma. I say, well, you don't have to have had big trauma. You may have watched a friend fall over in the playground at school and taken on a whole heap of beliefs about injury, about teachers, about your friends at school. There's a whole load of things you could have taken on beliefs around just one little incident. And who of us didn't ever see a friend fall over or experience it for ourselves? It doesn't have to be big stuff. It's the build-up of all those events over time that reinforce those beliefs, those behaviors, those patterns in our life. And really often we don't even realize that we're enacting them. We look at what's wrong. We think, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that I've never got money. I don't like that I can't lose weight. I don't like that I can't get pregnant, whatever it is. And we actually don't realize that all those are really just symptoms. That's the oil light flashing because you haven't put the oil in the engine. And actually, if we can get under the bonnet of our mind and start uncovering some of the events that contributed to those beliefs, those patterns, those behaviors, then for me, health and well-being is, it's about finding a place of equilibrium, I think. How about you? That's me talking a lot.
No, I think that's great. I think that's fantastic the way you've explained, like, let's provide the oil rather than let's go to the root of the problem rather than just try and sort out the symptoms.
Stick something over the oil, the light, and the warning light in the car. We don't do that, but we do that with ourselves,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah, because I love what you said as well. Like, a lot of us won't be able to identify with our childhood memories because we feel, oh, we've just seen other people experiencing it. But even that is being imprinted within our own subconscious, which we enact.
Mm.
I completely agree. So I just thought,
Yeah, totally.
yeah,
Totally. And actually, sometimes things we see are worse than things we experience, actually.
I agree. Yes, yeah,
Mm.
especially if you're sensitive. So those of us who are sensitive, I
Mm.
think when you see somebody else in pain, because of our compassionate nature, we feel it affects us in a much deeper level than if we're
Yeah.
going through
Mm.
it ourselves. So no, very well said.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've noticed that sort of surprised me when I realized that was the case. But then I thought, well, that makes total sense. It's what we saw very often, not what happened to us.
Yeah,
Not always, of course, but that can be. I think it's an area of, I don't really want to use trauma, but it's an area that can be forgotten, what we saw as
yeah.
well as what we experienced here.
And like yourself, Mary Jane, I do EFT as well. But one of the other techniques I fuse EFT with is compassionate mind training. And I thought,
Okay.
when I was listening to you, I thought it'll be nice to mention this because as you were talking about the thoughts and our emotions. So one of the things I use in terms of the same linkage is affirmations.
Mm.
So affirmations, what it does, it helps to create self-worth.
Yeah.
Because it's our inner critique that keeps criticizing us constantly because of those beliefs and those experiences that we've had. And in one of the compassionate break, which is the most common and it's the most straightforward practices that we can do it even in 3 minutes. The first stage is you acknowledge your discomfort, so you validate. You can't be pregnant, you can't lose weight, or whatever you're going through. Then secondly, you expand it and you understand that suffering is common humanity.
Mm.
And the third one, which has been highlighted, that's why I thought I'd mention it, is that you actually embrace yourself with love and compassion.
Mm.
But people find it very difficult to do it for themselves. However, when you turn it and you say, okay, imagine one of your best friends going through that trauma
Yeah.
or that discomfort. You explain to that person,
Mm.
is common humanity. Now whisper to yourself what words you would actually tell your best friend.
Yeah.
They find it so much easier.
It's amazing, isn't it? And I do that sometimes when I do my live tapping videos, especially the kind of the beating yourself up, that self-talk that we give ourselves all the time about you're so useless, you're so stupid, you're so fat, you're so greedy, you're so this, you're so that, you're not enough this. Whew, it's exhausting, I think we wear ourselves out, don't we, with it?
We do.
And I do sometimes say to people, imagine how would you talk to your best friend? Because you wouldn't have any friends if you spoke to them like you speak to yourself. And that's a really lovely technique that you're using there. I think that really is a beautiful way, because if we can get peace with ourselves, then we're an energetic being. So if you imagine that we're like a light bulb sending out rays of light and heat and energy, if we're sending out peaceful light, peaceful energy, peaceful heat and warmth, then we're sending that into the universe around us, where that impacts. And I've seen this so many times. You work with one person in a family, I'm sure you have, sometimes not even the person who's the obvious one to work with. Doesn't really matter, because some people say that a family unit, it's almost like it's a single person. So you work with one and you see them making some shifts and the whole family changes.
Definitely. Completely agree. So it's lovely. So we've spoken about thoughts and beliefs, how they affect our well-being, and we mentioned being kind to ourselves. So let's just end with one more. It's always nice to have three things that I love this, this theory of three. So do you
Yeah.
want to suggest anything else before we end? And any other kind of link you would like to add?
Well, I know that you are a big fan of, you're a practitioner in batch flower
Yeah,
essences.
I was just about to say it. Yeah, because the flowers are great. You read my mind.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because as a homeopath, Dr. Batch was actually a homeopath first. So he and a couple of colleagues developed a whole range of amazing remedies, which are called bowel nosodes. So they're effectively taken from diseased bowel tissue, which I know sounds absolutely disgusting, but they are really amazing remedies. And after a few years doing that, he packed that in and went off and started making flower essences. And you can kind of see why. And I like the sort of humor in that, the fact he was, digging around in diseased bowel tissue for years, and then went and sniffed beautiful British, homegrown wildflowers. And I think that's quite a nice thing.
Definitely. But actually, just talking to you has made me realize, if you think of the system of chakras as well, bowel, it's your root chakra, and you must have gone through all of those emotions and finally went to the crown.
That's true. I hadn't considered that. Yes, so he'd done all that work. Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so I can finish off with what I think the best one in terms of fertility. Especially, it's nice to have a consultation, but the general one is a rescue remedy, which is made out of 5 flowers, and it's really nice to be able to tune into yourself. So the rescue remedy is made out of rock rose, impatiens, cherry plum, clematis, and star of Bethlehem. So rock rose is for the inner critique. Sorry, not that's rock water. Sorry, rock rose is for terror. It's when we're terrorized and when we're finding it very hard to kind of be in the, it's that. Well, clematis is more to be present. But rock rose is more when you are trembling and you wake up with nightmares. And impatient is when you're impatient, you just want things to hurry. So when we are trying to plan for a family, we compare ourselves and we just want to rush our own journey to get there, to have that positive pregnancy test. Cherry plum is for loss of control, when we feel that everything is not within our hands. So it helps us to regain that control. And then we have clematis, which is the one I said, which is when you are completely outside your body, you're daydreaming, you're constantly in the future. So it helps to come back. And star of Bethlehem is my favorite. It's for trauma, shock. And all of them together make the rescue remedies. So, and even midwives now give these the rescue remedy for birth. So it's really good.
Yeah, that's a beautiful combination. And actually, I didn't know it was those. I knew it was 5, but I didn't know which 5. But I do use rescue remedies sometimes. And I remember one day giving it to my husband because he can be quite volatile. He was quite emotional about something. It was years ago. And I just literally, he's like a little bird sometimes. I say, open your mouth. And I just put a couple of drops on his tongue. And literally within 3 minutes, it was like this new man had arrived in there. It was amazing. Yeah, so I don't really know that much about flower essences, but I have quite a big selection. And sometimes I just kind of open the drawer and just think, which one do I want today?
Yeah.
And it's always right, isn't it?
It is. There is no contraindications or secondary effects, so it can't be wrong.
No, of course. But no, I can see, I mean, that combination for fertility issues, but actually for our time as well, that's super powerful.
But I do the same with my husband. I can't believe how similar we are. I literally just open his mouth, just say, take it, you need this.
He's like a baby bird in the nest, and he just goes, ah. And the same with homeopathic remedies. It's marvellous.
Well, I have a feeling we're in for another interview on this link. but we will
And
now.
husband.
Oh, definitely. I bet
Yes.
if our husbands meet each other, they'll feel that they've known each other for ages as well.
Like brothers. Absolutely. Anything else, Artie? I mean, I think that's lovely. That's summed up quite a lot of,
Yes, so
concisely summed up quite a lot of stuff.
we did, yes. So just to summarize again, so you spoke about our thoughts, our beliefs, and how they affect our symptoms, like our present moment. So it's good to be able to retrace that to create new fertile beliefs, which is lovely. And then we spoke about affirmations and the rescue remedy, which is a lovely way to summarize the three different steps.
Fabulous. Great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, thank you very much, and I'm sure we'll do another one soon.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing really well. I'm sorry I'm late again. I intended to come at 5, but life just took over. And again, then I started with a visualization, and I thought this is not the right way to do a live. A visualization, it's better I record it and then I send it, but I upload it. So I will be doing that visualization later on, and I'll upload it on this page. But I wanted to end the 5 videos that I said I would do this week for National Fertility Week. And I thought it would be a wonderful way to end with the Aromatherapy blend, which I use all the time. And it is a Neil's Yard product, which is Woman's Balance. So the 3 main essential oils that are in this blend are patchouli, which is relaxing, geranium, which is uplifting, and rose, which is extremely nourishing, and one last one, which is the main one, which is frankincense, rejuvenating. So together, these essential oils, this blend helps to harmonize imbalances during menstruation, menopause, and as well as fertility in terms of emotional and physical balance. Geranium especially is really good to take off the edge, so that it helps us to be able to be more clear. And I don't know whether you can see it. You can actually you can blend it in oils and apply it, or blend it in like a carrier oil and apply it all over your body, or you can just do just put it in an oil burner. So I've just put a few drops over here, and the candle is burning underneath it, and it smells divine. It's really nice. So I hope you found that useful. I will put a link of that oil in the comments as well. And just for the weekend, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a card from the Super Attractor card deck by Gabrielle Bernstein. We did a video yesterday on affirmations, so I thought it would be a good thing to share an affirmation. So I'm just going to pick one up randomly. The intention is, where we are right now, where we're going, what's happening. So a beautiful purple, and it says, when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. So it's all about support. I'll read this again. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. I love this card. It's lovely because it just helps us understand that no man is an island, no woman is an island, so we need each other. That's why I've created I'm Marissa Well Woman, to share these tips. So a quick summary: it's the end of National Fertility Week tomorrow, and I've done these 5 videos. So I spoke about Woman's Balance, a lovely aromatherapy blend that you can apply to a carrier oil, and we ended with a wonderful affirmation, which I'm going to read again. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. I will share these in the comments later on. I'm actually heading off to a meditation now, so I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be in touch. I'm going to be running other lives next week, but I will post it. I'll put some posts about it. Take care, lovelies, and I hope you have a restorative, rejuvenating, and flourishing weekend.